I answer, life is just like a game. If you played with perfection, you scored the ultimate fame. Remember that it's only good when you're ahead of the rest, as no one remembers the second best.
502 test wickets and a fragrance to match it. What a player, what poise, what demeanor, and a swag to match it. So this super fit athlete at the age of a very tender age of 30 gets diagnosed with diabetes type 1, and that's a setback, especially for an athlete. It's a setback for anyone, but it's for an athlete to be diagnosed. I mean, you consider yourself an athlete and you're super fit. And how can you and you're not even aware of what that is all about. So it's a big setback in his personal life. So he starts seeing doctors, like he goes to that Professor Faisal Masood of Lahore's King Edward Medical College. And the first question he asks is, will I be able to play cricket? And yes, he said reassuringly, but you'll have to manage your sugar levels.
I won't read all of this, but what he mentions here is that the doctor gives him a diet plan and how he should take insulin, and he talks about how to that it wasn't that easy to get insulin in those days, and it wasn't very portable, and the bottles and needles were huge and required sterilization and freezing. And then he talks about Huma being such a help and taking care of Taimur, their first son, and then looking after him as well. So I'll turn to next page, and this is the interesting part. This is where he talks something about this chapter, which we are all trying to figure out. The lifeline came from Khalid Mahmood, whom Nawaz Sharif, re-elected Prime Minister at Bhutto's expense, had appointed the new chairman of the PCB. Instructed by Sharif to fix it, Mahmood came in and made instant changes. He demoted Latif, who was not even sure of his place in the best 11, that's Rashid Latif, in favour of Sohail, that's Amir Sohail, who had been batting well. He told Majid Khan that simply casting aside every player about whom any suspicion was held was frankly illegal. I'd been removed on the basis of accusations relating to a match I had not even played in. That's the World Cup 1996 quarter-final, I assume. As he had with my leg in London, with the ball at Lord's and the joints in Grenada. I don't know what that means. Mahmood insisted on proof. Until proof was proffered one way or another, I was to be restored to the colours. So Salim Altaf resigned in protest at this unconstitutional move, albeit only temporarily. Meanwhile, I felt grateful to Mahmood but ambivalent. So this new PCB chairman, upon the instructions of Nawaz Sharif, gets him back into the side. Very, very interesting. And what about Nawaz Sharif himself? I'll just read about him and his background and the cases against him. So he goes on, the truth is that I was less than fully fit and less than completely popular. With Huma too busy with Taimur to come to keep me company, I arrived in Durban after a Pakistani victory. There to find all the usual cliches and clans pulling in different directions. Group baadi chal rahi thi players di. And I wasn't in any of them. Main kisi group mein nahi tha. In fact, the leadership clearly regarded me as surplus to requirements. When things went his way, Sohail was arrogant and bombastic. When they didn't, he was petulant and disruptive. Seemingly, in protest at my arrival, he resigned in favor of Rashid Latif. So when Wasim joins the team, he resigns in protest, and Rashid Latif becomes the captain. I mean, it's a joke. It's a joke what they did. Like this captaincy, this players, and this whatever, just Pakistan cricket at its very best. We ended up with a team for the third test in Port Elizabeth that contained 5 former captains. It worked as well as you might imagine. We were thumped by 259 runs. I was top scorer in the first innings with 30. Latif made a pair. One international did not levy such demands. In the 7-match ODI series, I made 152 at 25.3 and took 15 wickets at 17. I knew I'd lost my pace and endurance, so I relied on my smarts. So that's when he lost his pace, that's when he started bowling those slower ones and all that. And he used to, I remember at that point he stopped bowling those in-swinging Yorkers because he had his pace has reduced. So his stock ball was pretty much the good length going away from the right-hander. So I didn't divulge my diabetes. There was lots of conspiracy theorizing about insulin in Pakistan. There still is. I don't know what kind of language he uses. I was learning about things like how heat and timing affect your condition and how it sometimes paid to leave a few sweats with umpires in case my blood sugar suddenly dropped. So he has insulin with the umpire. It impaired my performances, my mood, even my attempts to socialize with the boys. I'd be out with them and suddenly need to peel off to tend on my personal chemistry. At least I felt I was getting on top of it. I left Africa looking over my shoulder with good reason. I'll stop here, but I've covered nearly 3 pages in this. We'll continue in the next one. Hope we are coming to a conclusion.
Captain. The system was well developed when Kapil Dev became the captain, and it peaked when Azharuddin became the captain. This is how he told.
Rakesh Maria shows the journalist transcripts of phone taps from the mid-1990s.
It is there. It is match fixing. See, that time it was 20 to 25 lakhs per player.
That's around $90,000 a player. And as Rakesh Maria explains, the players then use the money that they're paid to lose to bet on the other team to win.
Yeah. So you have incidents of the players also betting on the matches they were involved in. Something along those lines.
Thanks for watching.